What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of our Chilli side-by-side experiment. Today, back inside, back in the kitchen, because it has been pouring with rain the last couple of days. It's just been insane. But look at this. Look at the chili. Since the last video, you will have seen we fed this mother chili plant. We put some worm castings on top, some number one blend. That has been watered through by the rain, and look at the amount of growth. I'll show you a couple of close-ups now over the top of this that show how green these leaves are. They're just really, really beautiful and starting to show quite a lot of flowers and things, really kicking off this growth. So it just shows what you can do with this small container and a little bit of worm castings to top it off. It also illustrates how difficult it can be keeping something like this fed. Most of the time with living soil, we want to try and go for a larger amount of soil. That gives us a larger soil battery. It means that there's plenty more nutrients and space for those roots to expand and to feed and to basically give it all its beautiful life and production up top. Now, normally what we try and do is mimic the top size. So as above, so below. This is the kind of size that the root ball will be as well. So when a plant is getting too big for its container, we're going to have to keep adding nutrients to that soil to make sure that it doesn't run out. It's quite crucial to stay on top of the watering as well in these smaller containers. It's quite well saturated from being out in the rain, but this will drink it up really, really quickly. Now, the exciting thing today is we are doing the up-potting of these wonderful clones, which have finally rooted. I'll come and give you a close-up. So they're finally starting to show some roots. You can see all of them sticking out the bottom of the puck there. Some of them are already started to prune themselves as well. We've got 3 beautiful looking clones here, which are starting to get their nice dark green color back as well, with some nice furry roots sticking out. So the job today is to pop these 3 clones into these pots. I want to be clear that this soil mix that we're using today is a combination of the really basic soil mix that we got from the hardware store that we're going to be using in this experiment. And I've mixed it with some worm castings the same ones that we topped up here. It's got a little bit of sand in it and some rice hulls to add a little bit more drainage because I was using it as a seedling raising mix. But essentially, I've boosted it with some worm castings. We're going to get these pots growing quite vigorously. We want them to be really nice and healthy and filling these pots before we whack them in the big amounts of soil, just to give them a really good head start. If you put these clones straight into that soil, we might see them die out quite quickly. I'm also in the next couple of episodes going to start dressing up those pots, getting them ready, sitting as soil for a while, especially with some of those slower release fertilizers being watered in with the number one blend and the NPK fertilizer. They need to have a little bit of time to start going into the soil. So when these actually hit those pots, there's a lot of nutrients ready for them to start using. We don't want them to fail straight away with absolutely no nutrients in this terrible potting soil. So let's up-pot these and get these into the soil. They are well overdue. We don't want to go too much further than this, otherwise they'll start to die off again. So without further ado, let's dive into up-potting. All right, first things first, we'll take this first pot. I'm going to fill the bottom, roughly the bottom half, or bottom third, let's say, with soil. So we've got enough space there to sit the puck on top, and then we're going to fill around that. So let's grab one. So as you can see, nice amount of roots on there. It's going to sit in there with enough space for that puck to basically be sticking out the top. And then we're going to fill in some soil around that. So let's do that now nice and carefully. I'll just do one on camera. Obviously, you can then go and do all of them nice and quickly yourself, but making sure to tuck it in around the edges. I'm also trying to be careful not to break too many of those roots down there already. Getting a nice amount of soil all over the kitchen bench. That's what we love to see. So push it down a little bit there, let it settle. Give it a little tap. And there we have it, a nice planted seedling. You can't see the puck anymore, but that's going to stay in there. And all done. So on to the next one. Look, you can see this one has a little flower on it already. So this one is well and truly ready to go into its next home. Definitely need to clean this up before my wife sees how much soil is all over the bench. Final one. All right, all done. Even though it's a little bit messy, we have 3 up-potted clones. So there we have it, everyone. Beautifully up-potted clones. I'm going to clean them up and clean this up a little bit. Luckily, the soil was nice and moist from the added worm casting, so I'm not going to need to water these in just yet. But once they start to dry out again, I'm just going to start watering them as normal, and hopefully in a week or 2, you'll start to see some beautiful new growth and see them shooting up. So I'm going to also leave these because the clones weren't quite in direct sunlight. So I'm going to still leave these out of direct sunlight just until they've really taken into these pots before we start transitioning them out into full sun like this one. So hope that covers everything in terms of up-potting clones. I did look at the date, and it was roughly 3 to 4 weeks ago that we took these cuts. So even up to a month to start seeing some of those roots. But yeah, it happened, it worked. We got 3 successful clones, so we're ready to start this experiment. How exciting. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them down below for me. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, give it a good thumbs up for us to share this video around and help some more people. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.